Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for second year. The running chapter is organic chemistry and now we are in session number 55. In previous session we discussed about the properties, that is the physical properties as well as the chemical properties, that is chemical reactions, and there we are discussing about the different reactions that are possible from carbonyl compounds, and we listed out the reagents that are involved in different types of reactions. I think at the mid we are concluded the last session, and now let me complete it. Let me continue that list of reagents in different reactions. In previous session we listed out the reagents that are involved in nucleophilic addition reactions. Actually here what we are discussing is nothing but chemical reactions of, these are chemical properties of carbonyl compounds, is it not? In such a case we listed out the nucleophilic addition reaction reagents. For your convenience sake, let me reveal that one. It is nothing but with HCl and with sodium bisulfite, it is NaHCSO3, and with RMGX, and then with ROH. With all these four reagents, these carbonyl compounds tend to go for nucleophilic addition reaction. That's all. And next we listed out the reagents that are related to nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Here the eliminating part is nothing but a smaller molecule, water. Oxygen from carbonyl group and hydrogens from ammonia derivatives combinedly forming a water molecule. That water molecule will be eliminated after this nucleophilic addition. And here what we are observing, the reagents are ammonia and ammonia derivatives. Ammonia derivatives are nothing but primary amine where NH2R. It may be hydroxylamine NH2OH, hydrazine NH2NH2, phenylhydrazine, that is NH2NH phenyl group, and 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine. It is nothing but 2,4-DNP already, and it is given the name Brody's reagent. And then carbazine, that is NH2NH CONH2, that is instead of phenyl group, when the amide group is attached to this hydrazine, it is nothing but carbazine. With all these ammonia derivatives, the carbonyl compounds are undergoing nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Elimination is only water, just you remember, is it not? And now let us continue the next types of reactions. It is nothing but reductions. These carbonyl compounds, already in previous session also we discussed, it is at the mid, all the homologous series, when we are comparing alkanes to carboxylic acids, that is at the mid of these homologous series, so that's why it can go for a reduction. And in this reduction we can find two types of reductions. One is nothing but reduction to alcohols, only reduction to alcohol only, that is only just preceding groups. And for this purpose the reducing agents that are used are nothing but hydrogenating heterogeneous, that is hydrogen in presence of palladium or platinum, and next it may be lithium aluminum hydride, that is nothing but metal hydride, and it may be sodium boron hydride. With these reducing agents, that is metal hydrides or heterogeneous reducing agent, these carbonyl compounds are reduced to alcohols. And here just let me give what is happening is C double bond O group on reduction is forming CHOH. This is simply that C double bond O is converted to CH, OH. Okay, and now the second reducing properties, they are nothing but reduction to hydrocarbons. Here the hydrocarbons are nothing but just alkanes in most of the cases. If the carbonyl group is saturated carbonyl group, then it is leading to hydrocarbon. Here what is happening is this C double bond O, that is carbonyl group, when treated with reducing agent, a special type, here I am going to provide you, it will be converted to CH2. That is, instead of oxygen, hydrogens will come. And here this can also, we can write like this. This CO group is now converted to CHOH. That CO group is reduced to alcohol, that CO group is reduced to methylene group. And the reagent that are used for this reduction are, first one is zinc amalgam in presence of HCl. And when this is the reagent used for the reduction of carbonyl group to alkane, the reaction is known as Clemmensen's reduction. Clemmensen's reduction reaction. And now we can also use hydrazine NH2 in presence of KOH and glycol. This is also useful for the reduction of carbonyl compound to hydrocarbon. When this is the reagent, it is known as Wolff-Kishner's reduction reaction. It is like that the carbonyl compounds will undergo reduction. These are the specific reducing agents that are useful for the reduction of carbonyl compounds to alcohol and the carbonyl compound reduction to hydrocarbon. Just you have to remember, because by using this we can't make carbonyl compound to come to hydrocarbon, and we can't restrict the reduction. By using this we can't restrict the reduction only up to alcohol, because these are strong reducing agents. Thereby directly the carbonyl compounds are reduced to the alkanes. Clear? That's why you should remember what are the reducing agents that are purposely used for the reduction of carbonyl compounds to alcohols, or what are the reducing agents that are used for the reduction of carbonyl compounds to hydrocarbons. And the names, when zinc amalgam and HCl, it is Clemmensen's reduction. When it is hydrazine, KOH and glycol, it is nothing but Wolff-Kishner's reduction. Clear? That is about the third type of reactions. And now let me list out the next reaction is nothing but oxidations. Similar to that of reduction, here we are using oxidizing agents, different types. Now the fourth one is oxidation reactions, and in these oxidations we can use two types of oxidizing agents that are nothing but strong oxidizing agents. And here the list is nothing but with concentrated HNO3. This is strong oxidizing agent, and it may be KMnO4 in acid medium, or it is K2Cr2O7 in acid medium. All these are strong oxidizing agents. And I think you know, when the carbonyl compounds are undergoing oxidation, the final products are nothing but acids, carboxylic acids, because in organic chemistry the final oxidizing organic compounds are acids. And in case if organic acids or organic compounds are combusted, that is final oxidation is reached, then they will convert into inorganic material CO2. Such reaction where complete oxidation takes place is nothing but the combustion. In combustion, all the hydrocarbons or any organic compounds are finally forming CO2 and H2O. Then CO2 is not organic compound. Just you remember, it is inorganic compound. Clear? And here, being the organic compounds, the highest oxidation state is observed only in carboxylic acids and derivatives. So with this one, these carbonyl compounds are converted to, that is C double bond O will be oxidized to COOH, like this. And next one is weak, that is moderate or weak oxidizing agents. Simply we can consider moderate or mild oxidizing agents. Here these mild or moderate oxidizing agents are again two kinds. One is Tollens reagents. Tollens reagent. Tollens reagent is nothing but ammonical silver nitrate, AgNO3 plus NH4OH mixture. Ammonical silver nitrate mixture is known as Tollens reagent. And the second type is Fehling's solutions. Fehling's reagents. Fehling's reagent. Here it is of having two parts. One is Fehling's solution 1. Fehling's solution 1. It is nothing but CuSO4 plus NaOH mixture. And next one is Fehling's solution. Fehling's solution 2. And that Fehling's solution 2 is nothing but sodium potassium tartrate. Tartrate. That is nothing but tartaric acid salt. And it is otherwise known as Rossli salt. Sodium potassium tartrate or Rossli salt. It is nothing but the Fehling's solution 2. So in mild oxidizing agents or the weak oxidizing or moderate oxidizing agents, Tollens reagent and Fehling's solutions. These can generally in coming sessions also we are going to discuss. Mild or the moderate or the weak oxidizing agents can react only with aldehydes but not with ketones. Already we know ketones are very reluctant to go for oxidation. They are not interested to go for oxidation. So only with strong oxidizing agents we can imagine the oxidation of ketones along with aldehydes. But with mild oxidizing agents, these ketones do not undergo any oxidation, just aldehydes will undergo oxidation. That's why these mild oxidizing agents like Tollens reagent and Fehling's solution, these two are used as the reagents to test the aldehydes or to distinguish aldehydes from the ketones. So these two reagents just you have to remember as the reagents used as a test to distinguish between aldehydes and ketones. Clear? That is about the oxidations. And one more oxidation is nothing but haloform reaction. That is third one. See, haloform reaction. Haloform reaction is happened when carbonyl compounds having methyl group is treated with X2NaOH, that is halogen in presence of NaOH, or directly it may be taken as NaOX, that is sodium hypohalite NaOX, or X2NaOH. X2NaOH is nothing but resulting NaOX. So that is the reagent which is of giving the haloform test when the aldehyde or ketone is having methyl group, that is methyl ketones or methyl group when present along with the CHO group, then they are able to give haloform test. It is also one kind of oxidation. This is the fourth kind of reaction. And now coming to the last type of reaction that can be expected from this carbonyl group, that is carbonyl compounds, not from carbonyl group. All these reactions now till now what we are discussing are related to CO group. CO group means that is the functional group itself is involved in nucleophilic addition, and that in nucleophilic addition the CO group is disturbed. It may be oxidized or it may be reduced, and in nucleophilic addition followed by elimination also CO group is involved, but in reduction also CO group is reduced. In oxidation also CO group is oxidized. But here the fifth special kind of reaction is nothing but reactions due to alpha hydrogens. Here first let me give the clarity on alpha hydrogen. Alpha hydrogen is nothing but when it is functional group is aldehyde, the carbon which is connected to this is known as alpha carbon, and the hydrogens that are present on alpha carbon are known as alpha hydrogens. And similarly, if it is keto group, on both sides whatever the carbons present are considered as alpha carbons, this one and this one, and these hydrogens which are present on alpha carbon are known as alpha hydrogens. So here the fifth type of reactions that we are expecting from the carbonyl compounds are nothing but reactions due to that alpha hydrogens. The hydrogens that present on alpha carbon are known as alpha hydrogens, and those hydrogens are involved in these particular reactions, and these are of two kinds. First one is nothing but condensation reactions. Condensation reactions, actually it is named as aldol condensation reaction. Aldol is the addition product, and thereafter elimination, that addition and elimination combinedly known as condensation. And aldol is the reaction intermediate, that is nothing but intermediary product, not reaction intermediate. Reaction intermediate is a different one. Reaction intermediate is nothing but when the reaction is going on, temporarily it is provided, it is formed, then it is reaction intermediate. Here aldol is intermediary product. The product means if we wantedly, if we are making some conditions to exist this aldol, there the reaction will be prevented. Are you following? But in case of reaction intermediates, we can't prevent the reaction, or we can't stop the reaction at the case at the formation of the reaction intermediate. But reaction intermediate is different from intermediary product. Intermediary product is, we can make it as a final product by facilitating or by providing the required conditions for the existence of that product. Clear? Aldol is one of the intermediary product. So that aldol formation followed by elimination, these two combinedly known as condensations. Clear? And one best example type of condensation is Cannizzaro reactions we are expecting from these carbonyl compounds. Cannizzaro reaction. What are the conditions? What are the products in condensation? And what are the conditions? What are the products in Cannizzaro reaction? We have to discuss. That is about the total list of these chemical properties of these carbonyl compounds. Clear? And first, in this session, let us assume why the carbonyl compounds are undergoing nucleophilic addition. What are the conditions that is facilitating the nucleophilic addition? And first we have to consider that, and thereafter we may think that instead of nucleophilic addition, why it is not going for substitution. Substitution is nothing but a displacement or replacement reaction. And first let us observe mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction. What is happening in this? For that purpose, first let us observe the carbonyl group. If you keenly observe this, carbonyl group is highly polar group. Highly polar. Why? Because this is more electronegative, and thereby it is of getting partial positive and it is getting partial negative. Actually it is existing in conjugative structure like this, C plus and O minus. Clear? And now this is of able, this carbocation, that is carbon with positive charge, is attacked by nucleophile on it. And why? Our interest is why this nucleophile is attacking on this, and why not any electrophile attacking on oxygen. It is nothing but when nucleophile attacks on this, the formed product is nothing but a carbanion like this, NuO minus. It is an anion, not carbanion, it is an anion. In this, if you observe, the negative charge is present on more electronegative oxygen. Is it not? But in case if any electrophile, for example, electrophile is attacking on this, making this free, but oxygen being having two lone pairs of electron on this oxygen, it can't make this carbon to be with positive charge. immediately when it found the positive charge on carbon adjacent to it, that oxygen always tend to donate that electron pair. That's why when any electrophile attacks on this oxygen and thereby making this to exist, then this is of highly unstable carbocation. So when compared to a highly unstable carbocation, the formed anion is more stable. That's why it is always going for nucleophilic addition. Now the question is, okay, nucleophile is attacking, then why it should be addition? Why not the substitution? That means why it is not making any displacement reaction? Why only for addition reaction? Let us observe this. Here this is RH, for example aldehyde, and here nucleophile is there and O is now getting minus, is it not? And now in case of ketone, after this addition of nucleophile, this is O minus. And in case if it is of undergoing any substitution, what should happen? When nucleophile is coming and it is of making the bond to go this side, and again when it is coming back, this one or this one has to be replaced. That means when a nucleophile is coming inside, automatically either alkyl group or the hydrogen has to leave the substrate in the form of a nucleophile, is it not? But compared to this, these are strong bases. Strong bases, already in GOC we learned that strong basic strength is also related to strong nucleophilicity. And as our knowledge, a strong nucleophile can replace a weak nucleophile, but a weak nucleophile can't replace a strong nucleophile. Simply we can say that the hydrogen and the alkyl group that are present in carbonyl compounds are too basic to be replaced. That means they are strong bases. They can't be replaced by weak bases. That is nothing but weak nucleophiles. That's why these carbonyl compounds are not going for nucleophilic substitutions. It is only because of alkyl and hydrogens are strong bases and thereby strong nucleophiles. Instead of that, they are preferred to go for nucleophilic addition. And here you might be of asking one more question, our doubt. In case if this is the nucleophilic molecule, no doubt at all, it is splitting into Nu minus and H plus. Once the nucleophile attacking on this carbon, positively charged carbon, it is formed, and now this H plus will attack on this, and thereby it is now finally forming Nu and OH. This is the final product, saturated product. And just you observe, in this nucleophilic addition, actually this carbon is sp2 hybridized, and final product in this case it is saturated with 4 bonds. That means it is sp3 hybridized. So altogether in nucleophilic addition reactions, the hybridization of carbon changes from sp2 to sp3. Okay, and now one more, that is our doubt is not yet cleared. That is nothing but when nucleophile is attacking and electrophile, H plus is nothing but electrophile is attacking, both are attacking, but still it is considered as nucleophilic addition. Why? Simple, the reason is nothing but when nucleophile is attacking, then only the bond is getting shifted. That means during the nucleophilic attack, bond breaking takes place, and hence that reaction where bond breaking takes place is nothing but rate determining step. I think now you know what is happening. And now we know the name of the reaction is nothing but on behalf of the step, on behalf of the reagent which is attacking in rate determining step. Here in rate determining step, nucleophile is attacking and the total reaction is nothing but an addition. So it is nucleophilic addition. I think now you are clear with all this. And this type of nucleophilic addition reactions in carbonyl compounds are of may be catalyzed by acid or base. But just you remember, whether it is catalyzed by acid or catalyzed by base, this nucleophilic addition of these carbonyl compounds with a given or with a particular reagent is always giving the same product irrespective of the catalyst. That means we can use acid as a catalyst for the nucleophilic addition of carbonyl compound with certain reagent. With the same reagent, for that addition reaction, we can also use base as the catalyst. But in both these two cases, the final product is same. And now in coming session, we have to observe why it is same, what are the mechanisms when it is catalyzed by acid or when it is catalyzed by base. Finally, why the same compound is formed in both these two mechanisms. All these we will discuss in the next session. Okay, thank you.